Welcome to the webinar, which is arranged by Nayadaya Analytics. Today we are talking about social sustainability and M&A integrations. So what is it and how can it be fostered? That's the name of the game today. And how to build inclusive integrations with the AI and science-based analytics. I'm Maria Kausto-Turner from Nayadaya Analytics. And in today's webinar, we have Timo Järvinen, our co-founder from Nayadaya Analytics. Okay. So before we start, first of all, I'm happy to say that this week we have had participants from 24 countries in our sustainable webinars. So this is, I'm not sure if this is the record, but still wonderful, wonderful numbers. And briefly about the agenda, the webinar will last about 30 minutes. And if you have questions, please submit them via the chat channel. And we will get back to you after the webinar through email or something. So we will not stop for questions during this 30 minutes and rather just plunge into the subject right now. So let's go. Timo, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Maria. So, since the focus today is social sustainability and M&A integrations, why don't we define it shortly, what it is? And let's ask from the new ChatGPT 4.0, which is just released. Let's see what it says. Okay. Well, it says that social sustainability in post-merger integrations focuses on employee well-being, treatment, cultural integration, and engagement and participation. So to create cohesive and inclusive work environment. So I think that's quite good definition, and actually that's also pretty much our goal here. I mean, emphasizing sustainability and sustainable integration from the point of view of the employees here. Unfortunately, that's also something which is good for the people and good for the business also. So let's move on and keep that in mind. And let's continue with a scientific fact. 98% of people are capable of empathy, meaning like stepping into the shoes of people, seeing the world through their eyes, and probably everyone of you, I would guess. So for us, it should be self-evident that those things listed before there belong to everyone, and that the social sustainability has an absolute value of its own, and that value also concerns nature and environment. So I think this does not need to be justified financially. But nowadays, it's more and more clear that the sustainability also has a high value for business. So in M&A integrations, the way we treat people and let them participate in the process has a crucial impact on the outcome of the integration. The success of the integration depends totally on employee behavior. And on the other hand, the behavior is strongly affected by the social sustainability things we listed there before. So what kind of behavior we are talking about? I mean, people can promote the change, they can become even change makers, or they may feel indifference or being in their comfort zone and not to do anything, or they may lose their productivity and even leave the company, or sometimes they may resist the change and slow it down. So all this is possible. Now, how to connect these dots here? I mean, what's the connection between sustainability, employee behavior, and integration? I mean, like dynamic, living connection, something that you can't capture with a playbook or list of instructions. How to combine and maximize the absolute value there and the business value of social sustainability, especially in these M&A integrations. To understand behavior, we need to understand human experience. I mean, since, like, broadly speaking, all behavior is a result of the human experience. So to understand employee behavior in M&A integrations, we need to understand employee experiences in those integrations. In this context, we may call them sustainability experiences in the context of those things we listed before by the AI. So maybe now you may think that, okay, this is easy, we are doing it all the time. I mean, we have this NPS, we have satisfaction surveys, policies for the employees. We listen to people, so maybe there's nothing to worry about. If it was that easy, I think most of M&A integrations would not fail, right? So it seems that something is not right there. And so what is it? Let's look at what science says about experiences and behavior. I mean, behavior is strongly guided by emotions. And right now here in this webinar, I mean, we don't have time to deep dive on the science of emotions, but let's note that their purpose in general is to influence behavior in an appropriate way in different kind of situations, also including the M&A integrations. So this science-based image here tells us that every emotion there has a different impact on behavior. We are showing two dimensions here, like from negative to positive and from disengagement to engagement. And these emotions here, they are from a scientific study method and developed in the University of Geneva, Switzerland. It's called the Geneva Emotion Wheel, if you like to Google that later. But we use it on our science-based platform and analytics. So now, this is the traditional scale, traditional service scale, for example, satisfaction or NPS, a one-dimensional scale. So as you see, it's only about the negativity or the positivity of experiences, the so-called valence, as said in science. So this tells us that in any context, also in the context of the sustainability experiences, during the integration, the so-called valence, in practice, the traditional scale of satisfaction or NPS, for example, it does not say anything about engagement or disengagement, nothing. So they are two totally different kind of dimensions of behavior. So there's no correlation. Okay, then, so where is the problem concretely? I think you may already see that. Meaning the traditional surveys, the high value of satisfaction or NPS, for example, quite often correlates with the emotion of, not surprisingly, satisfaction or contentment. And here's the catch. What is the impact of satisfaction on contentment or contentment on behavior? You see it from this diagram. So it makes employees passive, not engaging them and not promoting the change. So this means that the traditional scales mislead you. You end up emphasizing satisfaction and passive behavior, and that's bad news for the integration. I will get back to the problems with NPS and satisfaction a little bit more later. But you know, emotions in general, I mean, they are much better too. I mean, we see right away here that, for example, interest and pride, they create positive engagement, meaning inspiration, readiness for change, motivation. And on the other hand, for example, fear, disappointment, sadness, they create negative engagement, meaning employee turnover, productivity collapse, financial losses, all those things. And on the other hand, fear there, I mean, no, anger there on the left, sorry, creates negative engagement and resistance. So this conclusion here is clear. Emotions, unlike the traditional scales, they are an excellent tool and way to predict behavior. And also in M&A integrations and in the context of those sustainability kind of experiences. Okay, let's move on. So this is satisfaction or contentment or high NPS in practice, I would say. For this guy, the world is ready. Nothing needs to be done. it's quite easy to recommend this kind of situation, I think, to other people. So, but I mean, I don't see value for people and business in this image. I think we all need something more. We do need the feeling of satisfaction, of course. We all need to rest sometimes. But in this world where we are living right now, I think we do not have this luxury most of the time. And actually, it's not even a luxury. I mean, when we consider the true human nature here, we are much more. We want to be a part of something meaningful, to take action, explore new things, to make a difference. So this is not who we are. This is not the way to build sustainable growth or competitive edge. So the question is, why on earth do we try to understand and influence employee experiences by using the traditional scales that emphasize satisfaction? Why to promote this kind of experience and behavior, and especially in the integrations which is a process where change is needed? I think that's a crucial question we all need to make. Because I think that this is who we are truly. I mean, our desire is to be inspired and engaged, and to feel interest, pride, joy, even love, and to be motivated and activated by these emotions and a sense of purpose. And this is good news for business and integrations. I mean, this is the kind of well-being and social sustainability we need, the sustainability experience of co-creating something meaningful together and to be part of something meaningful. And I think that there's a huge human potential to be unleashed here. And the trigger can be social sustainability. But what should we do? I mean, we do need the connection with people. We need a dynamic, actionable insights, not just traditional playbooks. And as we see, emotions are a great tool, but they are only part of the solution. So we need something more.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Timo. Before we go forward, I just want to say this was eye-opening, and this is eye-opening, and just a very quick summary, perhaps with my own words. Something I wrote down: the traditional scales emphasize satisfaction, which means passive behavior. So that is, I think, something fundamental for us to understand. And then that is not promoting the change. So then the change, and then the sort of the concepts of well-being and social sustainability, they should not be about people being at their comfort zones, like you had the picture there, and therefore even slowing down the change. They should be about we should be building on the huge potential in people and who we really are, the explorers, like you said, an inclusive integration where we would be co-creating something new rather than just passively waiting for something to happen and others to do it, perhaps. This is about involving people, inspiring and engaging them in the new possibilities. So in other words, like building sustainable growth within the people.
Exactly like that.
Yeah. So, but then, I mean, I'm sure everybody's wondering, like, what should be done in practice, and what is the solution, and how to proceed? What is the process to make this actually happen?
Yes, I think it's good moment to show the solution now. Go to these concrete things. I mean, let's take a look at the process first. A method and a technology we call people risk analytics. So it's very simple from the customer point of view. Input means data we are collecting from employees. I will show you how. Then the data is processed with our analytics, science, and AI-based algorithms. The output includes 3 levels, like people risk levels, their root causes, and action points for building the sustainable M&A integration, and of course also to avoid financial significant failings. And this standard process can be executed and repeated always the same way, like 3 times during the integration. And one more thing, this process is scaling from even like 10 people, 10 employees to thousands or even tens of thousands of people. So really scalable model and process here. This is the cloud application for collecting data. So it's really easy to share this with people. I mean, we do not need those traditional surveys with many burdening questions. You need to ask only 3 questions. They are about emotions, their intensities, and the reasons behind them in the context of the integration. And this method here, it's based on a scientific research and a study method from the University of Geneva, Switzerland. We use it in our platform. So this is short and intuitive. I mean, these are the first steps of the empathy and social sustainability, stepping into the shoes of people like this, taking only a couple of minutes, not burdening them. And we do not identify people, no personal data there. And the questions, they are always the same, so extremely easy to use. And if it's needed, of course, we can ask some background variables, like, for example, business units and so on. But basically, these are the questions. Then the outputs. On the left, the first one there, risk level indicator. That's a number between 0 and 100. We calculate that with our science-based algorithm, which is predicting behavior in 3 dimensions: positive and negative engagement and disengagement, and a pro-social behavior. And this is a risk indicator, meaning that the bigger the number is, the higher is the risk for the integration to fail. And the smaller the number is, the higher is the absolute and the business value of social sustainability, and the higher probability for the success, of course. Then the donut there, it's about employee experiences. Also, the polarization is there. I mean, people may feel positive and negative emotions at the same time, and they can express that also. Also, the amount of no emotion, meaning insignificance or indifference, is important there. Okay. You can use these indicators to compare the situation in different phases of the integration on different business units, for example. Then the second output, root cause analytics. This is a snapshot about concrete things behind those emotions and behavior. And the sizes of the bubbles, they indicate the relevance or the significance to people of those things. And their location is about predicting the behavior. So these bubbles are different in each case. We don't know beforehand what they are. So these are just examples. So the quadrants there, they mean like, what are the things behind retention and motivation and productivity, readiness for change, all that, successful integration in general. Then what are things behind positive but passive behavior, and what are the root causes of the satisfaction usually. Then left down there, things behind employee turnover, productivity loss, financial losses, all that, and then things behind resistance. It's not good for the change either, of course. So this snapshot also can be compared in different phases of the integration or in different business units, if you like. And I mean, we've seen many kind of situations, sometimes only green bubbles, sometimes only red bubbles, usually both, and often moving and sometimes even changing color during the integration. And now actually getting back to the failings of the traditional NPS and satisfaction surveys, just a couple of words. I mean, this root cause analytics is something you are not able to get through the traditional surveys. They usually report the responses, what they are, but not giving you these actionable insights. Okay, then the third output, action points and recommendations. So list of risk factors which they are threatening the integration, and then also the things we call protectors, things that secure the integration against people risks. And below them are the action recommendations based on the case by case results and the situation and even the phase of the integration. I mean, that's a dynamic system. So all in all, by asking only those 3 questions, you will get the people risk levels and the root causes, a list of risks and the protectors, action recommendations, and so on. Also a summary of them will be there. So the goal is avoid the people risks and the integration failures, and to build high value for people and business through social sustainability. And this is how you involve employees in the process. Build empathy, predict behavior, understand what is significant to people, identify, tackle pain points and the risks, and point out and strengthen the sources of inspiration, motivation, all those things. So this is how you pay attention to people and build sustainable and successful integration. And to do this, you do not need to know anything about emotions or science. It's easy to use, concrete, actionable insights, helping you to succeed. But now, just a couple of words about the analytics, this patent pending method and technology behind this simple input and output basis analytics. And the first level there is we call it emotion and behavior intelligence, benefiting especially from science and AI there. Then the second level is about setting goals. Third level, that's a multidimensional framework for identifying the right kind of actions on innovation itself, based on science and process intelligence. Actually, we've been building that together with Deloitte. They have been helping us, thanks to them. Then the fourth level there is generative AI. With AI, we analyze these lower levels and also external information about integrations. And this is how we get to the fifth level to find out the action points, recommendations. And through all this, we get those three outputs. So to get those outputs by asking only the three questions, you need this deep analytics and with science and AI, and all this is under the surface, and you can focus on the results. Okay, then getting back to where we started, I mean, to the absolute and the business value of social sustainability in M&A integrations. I mean, what we have seen now here, it's about looking at the integration through the eyes of people, stepping into the shoes of employees, building value for them, with them, sustainable growth. And when AI is used, it needs to be done ethically. And this is what we promise. I mean, even if the clear goal here is to mitigate the risks and the financial losses, it's deeply about being kind to people and the planet. This is all actually. So here's my contact information also for our CEO, Petri Järvinen. You can contact me or Petri. We are more than happy to discuss with you, listen to your needs, give you more detailed presentation of the solution, a concrete proposal if you like. And one more thing, we are not a consulting company. And we are happy to talk to both potential customers and partners who can be M&A consulting companies. So on our webpage, najaraja.com, we have a link also where you can book a meeting if you like, and we are here to help you. Thank you very much. Let's be in touch.
Thank you very much. Let's be in touch. Okay, thank you, Timo. This really concludes our presentation, and thank you everyone for listening. We would love to hear from you. So that najaraja.com, there's a link, or to send a message via the chat here. Still, you have a few seconds time to type there, and just contact us, and we are happy to talk to you about, well, anything, but mostly, of course, about this our enthusiastic thing that we love to share with everybody. So without further ado, I think I have to say bye also. So thank you very much, and bye.
Bye-bye.